Hello everyone and welcome to another game of Squirrels Baseball. I am Aaron and we've got one more game against the Reds here. Series, it's been long enough I forgot how many games there were yesterday. So far we've played them 3 times in this 4-game series and we currently have the 2-1 lead. So this will be the Reds' chance to pull a draw out of this series. But yesterday's game's the only one that got a little bit lopsided. Still wasn't terrible, but it was high scoring. Definitely was that. All right, Gil on the mound today. And here momentarily, we should get Shao at the plate. And here he is. And we start today's game off with a swing and a miss on a curveball. Into shallow center, Kester is able to get back and make the grab. Excuse me, here's Norris Hopper. First pitch is a bit high. And that curveball broke too much. We got a 2-0 count. Gil throws the same pitch and it's still a ball. 3-0. Grooves in a fastball. Hopper taking all the way. Makes it 3-1. Sinker catches the plate, makes it a full count. Hopper looks at strike 3. 6 pitches in that at-bat, and he didn't swing at any of them. So here's Derek Lee with 2 outs and nobody on base. First pitch is in there for a strike. Swing and a miss to make it 0-2. And sinker misses. Pretty good 0-2 pitch. Derek Lee did not chase, though. Doesn't chase that outside fastball either to make it 2-2. Slider gets put into left center field. That'll fall in for the first hit of the game. 1 on with 2 outs. Here's Adam Dunn, who hit the grand slam. He'll look at strike 1. Grounds this one to second, and that will end the top half of the inning. The Reds with a hit, but no runs. Kester's going to lead things off for the Squirrels. The Reds have the same lineup in that we have been seeing. Jordan Tata on the mound. Here is Kester. He'll look at a strike. Grounds this one to first. Derek Lee will step on the bag. 1 down. Here's Marvin. He will bat left-handed. First pitch, a curveball for strike 1. This is pulled foul. That'll make it 0-2. Line drive right down the right field line. It's going to roll all the way down into that corner, and Marvin will settle in with a 1-out double. So here's Chief, a runner already in scoring position. Hits a line drive right on the right field line. Marvin's going to cruise into first. Chief standing on second with an RBI double. Now here's Terry. He's been in a bit of a slump here as of late, though he did have 1 RBI yesterday as he looks at strike 1. That pitch down and in. Hits this one through the middle. That will be a base hit and looks like another RBI. And he gets thrown out at second, though, trying to extend that into a double. So the Squirrels are leading 2-0, but they also now have 2 outs with the bases empty. Frank will start off with strike 1. And swings and misses for strike 2. Ground ball gets by Phillips and into center field, so another hit for the Squirrels. Here is Tom now, who's been better at the plate as of late. Hasn't gotten the average back up to 300 yet, and that's not going to do it. A little pop-up back to Tata. 2 runs on 4 hits in the first for the Squirrels. We move into the second inning, where Edwin Encarnacion will lead things off. First pitch up and in. Another curveball. I feel like Gil has thrown a lot of breaking stuff today, not a lot of fastballs. There's one, but it's too low. 2-1 the count. Down by his feet makes it 3-1. Called strike. We've got a full count. Called strike 3. 1 away. Here is Brandon Phillips. So he's had some hits in this series, but for some reason, the Reds keep subbing him out for Pickles late in the game. Pickles is very fast, but I'm not sure he's got many other good qualities, to be real honest. Phillips will ground to third, and that will be the second out of the inning. So here's Eric Ibar. He will look at strike 1. Little pop-up in foul ground. Tom makes the grab, and that will end the top of the second. 2-0 Squirrels. Zach is going to lead things off in the bottom half of the inning. First pitch in the dirt. And that pitch is outside. It's 2-0. Pitch a bit too high. 3-0. There's a called strike. Zach taking all the way. Swing and a miss. That'll make it a full count. And that pitch just a hair too high. That's the first walk of the game. That will bring Joey to the plate with a runner on and nobody out. First pitch is up and out. Tata seems to be throwing a lot of balls here as of late. And right on cue, Joey up 2-0 in this at-bat. That fastball's called a strike. Swing and a miss to make it 2-2. And this pitch gets away. That's going to move Zach to second base and give Joey a full count. Joey fouls that pitch away. We'll do it all again. Called strike 3. 1 away. Here is Gil. Runner still on second. First pitch is in there for a strike. Now Gil shows bunt. Pulls it back, and it's another called strike. Bunt goes back out there. Pulls it away. This one's out of the zone. Now it looks like Gil's going to swing away. Instead, he looks at a pitch on the outside corner for strike 3. 2 down. Here is Kester. Grounds first pitch to second, and that will end the inning. Still a 2-0 Squirrels lead as we move into the third inning, where David Ross will lead things off.
Number 26, David Ross, catcher.
Gil starts him off with a fastball for a strike. Gets him to swing and miss at a fastball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down. Here's Jordan Tata. Looks like he's having a pretty decent year at the plate for a pitcher, hitting over 200 and a couple RBI. This is just a ground ball back to Gil, so that will be 2 outs in the inning. Back around to the top of the order. Shao popped out in his first at-bat. 3 strikeouts for Gil the first time through the Reds order. Gets a ground ball out of Shao, and that will end the top of the inning. We go to the bottom of the third, where Marvin will lead things off. That's still a 2-0 Squirrels lead.
Number 3.
Marvin hit a double and came around to score in his first at-bat. I should also note Tata with 2 strikeouts, first time through the Squirrels order. Gets Marvin to ground out to first here. 1 away, here's Chief, who hit an RBI double in his first at-bat. That fastball sails. This one's in the zone, and Chief puts it right to Encarnacion. 2 out. Here's Terry. He also got a RBI in his first at-bat on a base hit up the middle. Looks at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. Hits this one to Derek Lee, who will step on the bag again. Quick inning, so we go into the 4th. Still 2-0 Squirrels. Norris Hopper's going to lead it off for Cincinnati.
Number 30. Norris Hopper.
Hopper was one of those strikeout victims the first time up. Starts off with a bit of a wild curveball, and then a not-so-good sinker. 2-0. I feel this is how Hopper started the last at-bat before Gill came all the way back for the strikeout. And on cue, puts a fastball in for strike 1. Sinker is outside, makes it 3-1. Hopper still not swung out a pitch this entire game. And that will continue to be true. Another full count. Finally swings the bat and gets a ground ball to Joey. 1 down. Here comes Derek Lee, who got a base hit in the first at-bat. I do believe the only hit for the Reds so far. This is going to curve foul down the right field side. Swings and misses at a slider that was well inside. And looks at strike 3 on a sinker. Derek Lee did not like the call, but he is the second out of the inning. Here's Adam Dunn, hit a ground ball in his first at-bat. Looks at strike 1 here. Looks at strike 2. Another ground ball. Kester on to first. And that will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Squirrels. Frank is going to lead it off. Frank got a base hit in his first at-bat. He will hit this one right to Phillips. 1 away. Tom with a little bloop fly right back to Tata. Looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. And that pitch is down and out. Ground ball over Tata's head. Ibar picked it up and got it to first in time. Here's Zach. He drew a walk in his first at-bat. 2 down, nobody on base. First pitch right over the outside corner. Yeah, curveball missed inside, probably low as well. Zach rolls one over to Ibar, who gets it to first to end the inning. Game's moving quick now. It's 2-0 as we move into the 5th. Edwin Encarnacion will lead it off. He struck out in his first at-bat. And looks at strike 1 here. Looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away. Here's Phillips. Ground out in his first at-bat. Looks at strike 1. That sounds like an oxymoron. A high sinker and then a high fastball for strike 2. Gill gets a fastball by him, so that will be the second out of the inning. Here's Eric Ibar. He fouled out in his first at-bat. Right behind home plate. Looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. That Curveball well inside. A little surprised Ibar didn't rush back from it. Hits this one up the middle. That'll be, I think, the second Reds hit of the day. So here's David Ross, who struck out in his first at-bat. He'll look at strike one here. Ground ball over to third. Throw goes to first, and that'll end the top half of the inning. Joey's going to lead it off in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The hits are 4-2 Squirrels. The runs are 2-0 Squirrels. Here's Joey, struck out in his first at-bat. As to this point, I do not believe Tata has struck out anybody in the second go-around of the order, though he currently has Joey at an 0-2 count. And that one a bit too far inside. There's a called strike, and that will be a strikeout in the second go-around. Although I guess I didn't realize that both of Tata's strikeouts the first go-around were of the 8-9 batters, so maybe that's what he's going to do again this go-around. Well, no, Guild grounds this one to first. So we'll go back to Kester. 2 away, nobody on base. Kester has ground out in both at-bats so far today. He'll look at strike one here. Fouled away. That'll make it 0-2. Fouled off again. And that pitch a bit too low. That one probably wasn't a strike either, but Kester fouled it off. That one looked like a strike, but instead it's going to be a little bloop fly ball and foul ground where Encarnacion will make the catch. So we go to the sixth inning. Squirrels still leading 2-0. Pitcher spot due up for the Reds. Tata will get to hit, his average now at an even 200. Say Tata, as he gave up those 2 runs, and I think all 4 hits in the first inning. I don't think he's given up anything since, so I don't blame the Reds for sticking with him as long as they can. He'll line out to Kester on that first pitch, but for the first out, that's what I was trying to say. That'll bring Shao to the plate to start the third go-around for the Reds. He looks at strike one. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here comes Norris Hopper. He's 0 for 2. That pitch stays high. Grounds this one foul down the first base side. 1-1. Slider in there for a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Marvin's going to start things off for the Squirrels, who are still leading 2-0. Marvin 1 for 2, doubled and scored back in the first. Looks at strike 1. Ground ball to Phillips, who misses it. Right through the wickets. Marvin reaches on an error. So here's Chief. He's 1 for 2. So he looks at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. Looks at strike 3. 1 away. That'll bring Terry to the plate. He's 1 for 2. So he looks at strike 1 here. Marvin takes off on an attempted hit and run, but the ball curves foul. So that'll make it 0-2. And Terry, and maybe that's a slump buster, puts this one well out of the park. A 426-foot shot out into right field. His 16th home run of the year. That makes it a 4-0 ball game. That will be it for Jordan Tata. Here comes Edison Volquez, who has been very effective. Now it's like the Reds might want to think about moving him into the starting rotation. Frank is 1 for 2. Base is newly empty with 1 out. First pitch is in there for a strike. Fouled away. That'll make it 0-2. That changeup stays inside. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Here is Tom. He is 0 for 2. Looks at strike 1. Ground ball. Ibar should have that, and he does, and that will end the 6th inning. We go into the 7th. Derek Lee's going to lead things off, and this game suddenly not a safe situation, though the Reds do have a couple innings to try to correct that. But it's time for Gonzalez to come out, I guess into Tom's spot, which will bring Martinez into catch.
Your attention, please. Now our catch for Indianapolis. Number 76, Gonzalez.
All right, Derek Lee is 1 for 2 today. Gonzalez starts things off with a grooved-in fastball for strike 1. Lee took it. Also takes that changeup, which wasn't real close to the strike zone. Nor was that cutter. 2-1. Goes back to the cutter and gets a swing and a miss. And then Derek Lee, a ground ball to Joey, who knocks it down. Has a little trouble picking it up, but gets it to first in time. Derek Lee, not the fastest runner, so there's, I'm sure, a good handful of Reds who would have made that into a base runner, but Joey decided to boot it on the right runner, I guess. Adam Dunn quickly down 0-2, and he will strike out swinging. 2 down. Here's Encarnacion, who has struck out in both at-bats so far today, and he'll take strike 1 in this at-bat. Take strike 2. There's a little bloop into center field. That will get down for a 2-out single. Here's Brandon Phillips. He's 0 for 2 so far. Gonzalez starts him off with a changeup that gets a swing and a miss. Splitter, ground ball that Chief fields. He'll go to first with it and get us to the 7th inning stretch. It's a 4-0 ball game for the Squirrels, and Zach will lead off on the other side.
Join the 6th inning.
All right, Volka's still on the mound. Zach at the plate has walked and ground out so far today. That first pitch is down in the dirt. That one, not sure it was in the dirt, but it was definitely low. There's a called strike, still pretty borderline. Really working Zach low in this at-bat. Misses again, 3-1. Throws one pretty much right down the middle and gets a ground ball to short. Might have gotten away with one there. Here's Joey. He has struck out in both at-bats so far today. And looks at strike 1. Hit up the middle. That's Joey's first time being on base today. That will bring Martinez to the plate for his first at-bat. Hits one pretty hard, but it's going to hook foul. If it had been right at the foul pole, it might have had home run distance. Anything beyond that, though, I think it would have been off the wall. Fights this one off for a little pop fly to Phillips. 2 down. Kester is 0 for 3 today. Runner still on first. First pitch, a curveball for strike one. Swings and misses for strike two. And that's a base hit up the middle. Kester on base today for the first time. 2 on with 2 outs. Marvin is going to continue batting left-handed, and we'll look at strike one. Hits this one foul down the right side to make it 0-2. And a ground ball to Derek Lee to end the inning. We go to the 8th. It is a 4-0 game, so Gonzalez will get a second inning. Reds are going to start off with Ibar at the plate. Ibar 1 for 2. Puts this one back to Gonzalez. 1 away. Here's David Ross. He's 0 for 2. That pitch breaks down and out. Swings under a fastball. Ground ball to Joey. He'll throw on to first for the second out. Volquez is going to get to hit himself here. That pitch misses high. There's a changeup in there for a strike. Outside. Oh, Volquez up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. A 2-out single brings Xiao back to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today. Splitter down in the dirt. And a fastball up and out makes it 2-0. Foul pop-up. Martinez waiting on it. And that will end the top of the 8th inning. We go to the bottom half of the inning where Chief will lead things off for the Squirrels. Chief is 1 for 3. That one was an RBI double. Hits this one into right field fairly deep. It's going to land right at the base of the wall, and Chief is into second with his second double of the day. All right, here comes Terry, fresh off of hitting a 2-run homer. Looks at a ball low. That's a line drive up the middle. I think the slump might be over. That's his 3rd hit today, although he got thrown out trying to extend one at-bat. And he gets thrown out again. Tried to stretch out into a double, but thought better of it, and then got thrown out trying to get back to first. So the bat's working better, but the decision-making not quite there all of a sudden for Terry. Frank's going to ground out to second. And that will bring Gonzalez's spot up in the order. So we will go get Quentin. He will bat left-handed. Nobody on base with 2 outs. That pitch down in the dirt. Ground ball to short. Ibar will take care of that, and that will bring us to the 9th inning. It's now a 5-0 ball game. Hopper's going to start things off for the Reds. I don't really know who I want to pitch here. Normally it would be Zapp, but he's still recovering from his last outing. Let's go with Jones. Jones did not have a good outing in the first game of this series, though he was coming off some short rests in the second game of this series, because he'd come off of a unexpected outing in the extra inning game that started this series. So we'll see if he can redeem himself here. Gets Hopper to foul the first pitch away. Fouls this pitch away as well. It is an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 1 away. There's Derek Lee. He's 1 for 3 today. Fastball too low. Breaking ball low as well. That breaking ball was a strike. Derek Lee will foul it off into the seats. 2-1. Oh, swing and a miss to make it 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 9th. Reds down to their last out. Adam Dunn at the plate is 0 for 3. Struck out twice today, I believe, and then a ground out, if I remember right. He's got an 0-2 count at the moment. This is a foul ball. Right at the plate, stayed in foul ground. This one is foul, but Martinez will have a play, and that will end the inning. Your final score today, Cincinnati Reds 0, Indianapolis Squirrels 5. Say most of that happened late. Scored 2 runs right away and wouldn't score again until the last couple innings. Terry probably ought to be your player of the game despite his base running. He's drove in 3 of those 5 runs. 2 of them on that home run right there. Well, actually, no. Excuse me. He drove in 4 of those 5 runs. But because Chief drove in the first one, he's probably going to get the player of the game honor. And right on cue, there's Chief. Should have been Terry, but oh well, doesn't matter. Thank you everybody for watching. If you'd like to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, feel very free. We'll have Oakland coming in tomorrow to start a 3-game set to end Interleague for the year. So we'll see you then.